Buenos días. Nos corresponde iniciar el día de hoy con este panel para mostrar algunas experiencias de la informatización, del uso de las tecnologías de la informatización y las comunicaciones en Cuba. Y vamos a tener un panel de muchos panelistas. Vamos a explicar algunas reglas para poder desarrollar este panel y ajustarnos en tiempo. Tenemos el honor de contar en este evento con la presencia del ministro de Comunicaciones de Cuba, Maimín Mesa Ramos, que se encuentra aquí con nosotros. También nos acompaña y nos honran con su presencia las autoridades de la provincia de Matanzas, la primera secretaria del Partido Comunista de Cuba en Matanzas, Teresa Rojas Monzón, la presidenta del gobierno, de la provincia de Matanzas, Tania de León Silveira, que nos honra con su presencia, y la presidenta del gobierno de la península, donde está enclavada el balneario de Varadero, la península de Icán, la compañera Marilín Rodríguez, que se encuentra aquí con nosotros. Entonces, les decía que vamos a tener un panel de muchos panelistas. Entonces, la organización que vamos a proponerles es la siguiente. Vamos a tener estos panelistas, que yo se los voy a presentar. Después vamos a tener 5 panelistas más. Vamos a tener un panel en dos partes. El tiempo máximo para cada exposición va a ser de 5 minutos máximo. Y vamos a tener un sistema, igual que el día de ayer, de gestión de las preguntas de evento, que está en la pantalla, o sea, slido.com. Se pueden registrar, ahí pueden poner las preguntas y las preguntas nos van a llegar aquí a nosotros y nosotros vamos a ir gestionando las preguntas y se las vamos a ir pasando a los panelistas para poder propiciar el debate. Entonces, les presento a los panelistas que van a intervenir. O sea, el primer panelista es Wilfredo González, viceministro de Comunicaciones de Cuba. Después va a intervenir Mayra Arevich, la presidenta de la empresa de Telecomunicaciones de Cuba. Después Raidel Montesino, que es el vicerrector primero de la Universidad de las Ciencias Informáticas, conocida como UCI. Después va a intervenir Walter Baluja, que es el director de Informática del Ministerio de Educación Superior de Cuba. Posteriormente, el viceministro del Ministerio de Educación de Cuba, Rolando Forneiro. Después de Forneiro viene Ariel Delgado, que es el director de Informática del Ministerio de Salud Pública. Y finalmente, en esta primera ronda, Roberto del Puerto, que es el director de Informática del Ministerio de Cultura. Entonces, le pasamos la palabra a Wilfredo.
The floor now to Wilfredo. Remember, each speaker has only 5 minutes. Morning, I thank the First Deputy Minister Perdomo for introducing me. We will give a brief explanation of our IT policy in our country and a group of specific programs that are in place to implement this policy. First of all, I would like to say that the IT policy in our country is based in 2 political elements: the updating of the guidelines of our party and the basis for the economic development of the country up to 2030. Telecommunications and ICTs are part of these political bases. On the other hand, this policy was adopted by the Council of Ministers in February last year, and it is associated to guideline number 8 dealing with telecommunication development in Cuba. Here there are 2 words I would like to stress: safe and sustainable. It is safe because we have decided to make progress in the development of our country, and sustainable because we have been developing and training our human resources since the very beginning of the revolution. We will have an IT national plan with 22 national projects, focusing its strategic lines in technological infrastructure and content and services. In our view, content and services is as important as infrastructure. If there is no relevant local content, it is not important or significant, and this is what we are striving for. State agencies must develop a plan for IT development, and territorial and local governments must also have a ICT development plan. This means that there must be a convergence between national decisions and the local transformations that are being carried out. This requires coordination by the Ministry of Communication and other authorities, and this is what we have been doing. The software industry is also important to provide IT apps and services with a group of companies. We have specific policies and guidelines recognizing the need of building technological parks in our country. The authorities in Matanza has already established a scientific and technological park. They are working together with the university. This is an area where we are looking forward to foreign investment. We have more than 20,000 health professionals, and there are 22 specific projects. I'll just mention 8 specific projects. Telecommunications development, the president of Texas will be talking about this, but we are expanding internet services in our country. This is one of the most important elements of this project. For the comprehensive education and training of all our citizens and to convey the reality of our country. Another specific program is related to e-bank, e-payments, mobile bank, an infrastructure to guarantee e-trade and e-government in our country. Then we have the assembly of IT equipment and terminals. National apps in these terminals are national solutions. Development of operative systems, for example. I think the member of the panel that comes from the university will be talking about this. Then we also have a project on digital TV. We have been assembling the first decoding devices. We have 7 million inhabitants covered with more than 2 million devices. E-government and assisting or attending the citizens is another important project. We have to interact with the citizens. We have defined 4 phases. We're working in the first 2. And also we are working on registries and other important services. Another program is a national passerelle for payments and collections and virtual shops to expand e-commerce for goods and services. There is also a program for generating digital contents. This is something that has been required to different agencies and authorities so that citizens may have this opportunity. As we have more than 5 million smartphones or mobile phones, we need apps for mobile phones. We are going to open a digital virtual shop to promote national apps. And finally, a very important program on basic solutions. The fact that we will be able to have an open code distribution, a search or research platform, a messenger platform, emails, and other basic developments that are required. Morning. To implement the IT policy adopted in 2017 to guarantee the sustainable development of our country and the well-being of our people, ETEX is responsible for developing the infrastructure. We will show you a video with what we have done in the last 2 years. We are preparing ourselves to continue developing telecommunication infrastructure. This will enable us to make a reality the different plans and increase the well-being and welfare of the country and the economic development as well. So I invite you to see the video, and then we can answer any questions you may have.
En lo que Raidel se prepara, voy a pasar la primera pregunta.
We're going to mention the two first questions. There is a question for Wilfredo. What are the policies of the Ministry of Communication to allow private developers to distribute and commercialize their apps? And there is another question for Maya. When will mobile data will be in place for the population in Cuba? Morning.
Una universidad joven, moderna, que acaba de cumplir hace apenas unos meses 15 años.
Good morning. I will speak on behalf of the University of Information Sciences. It's a newly established university that is part of the policy to provide informatization to the Cuban society. Our university is a university, as many other works in Cuba, coming from the ideas of the Commander-in-Chief Fidel Castro, who defined it as a different university, an experimental center, and a center that would not only research but also produce. In this regard, our university's mission is different from that of other universities. As every Cuban university, we train professionals in the area of ITs with the mission of producing and developing software for the Cuban software industry. Currently, we have 3 degrees, 3 majors, one in engineering and information sciences in IT, short cycle, higher education degree, and network management, administration, and security, and the engineering in bioinformatics. The impact of the university in the last 15 years has been considerable. We have been able to graduate more than 14,000 engineers who are all over Cuba. From the postgraduate point of view, we have several postgraduate programs, 3 master's programs, one in software quality, another one in advanced informatics, and another specialty that just started in information informatics security. This training program is complemented according to the ideas of the university as a producing center from a network of software producers. We have 14 software production and development centers with a collaborative network, which includes not just the faculty, but also about 1,000 other specialists. They are conducting the projects for more than 100 institutions, agencies, companies in Cuba. And specifically here, we wanted to mention some of these projects. Next. In regards to industry, well, basically, as the Deputy Minister Wilfredo said, developing a Cuban operating system in alliance with the Cuban industry, and it's the operation system that is produced by the Cuban computer producing company. Also, an operating system for mobiles and educational products, which is called technological classrooms, that has already been implemented in different schools in Cuba. Here we have some footage of some of these systems. This is a classroom, and there are other solutions with industry more oriented towards automation. And in this regard, our university has established systems for these IT-related systems for oil extraction, and it is being used in different locations. There are some schemes by the system organized at the university. There are some schemes, some for data, some for machinery. And I wanted to mention other strategic areas of our university as such, as part of the ITU, and it's also part of the International Organization of Technological Parks, as part of the informatization in Cuba. We have agreements and alliances with Huawei, and we have an academy for the training of specialists in network management. And also we have relations with the Uruguay Telecommunications company. And just to conclude, this image of students and our contact information in the social media and our commitment to continue to strive for the development of ITs in Cuba. Thank you very much. I will just pass a couple of questions. Questions on the concrete actions that ITEX has undertaken to ensure security in Wi-Fi spots so that users can actually be protected. That's one question. The other related to transfer mobile, which are not available today yet. Good morning. Well, I will share with you some ideas related to how IT is being developed in the Ministry of Higher Education, and I will start by saying that when the cybersecurity workshop in February 2015 was undertaken, it marked a turning point in the informatization in Cuba and the ministry. From then on, we started working with a set of goals, which we will share with you this morning. Our ministry comprises 22 universities and campuses across the country. We can see how much progress we have made in infrastructure with the support of ITEX. We currently have 700 megabits per second of internet access, improving substantially the access to international content by our students and the university community at large. However, we have our university national network, the main space to provide content and services to support the substantive higher education systems in Cuba as part of our universities. Here we have some examples of it: providing IT for bibliography, the development of scientific events and masters, the support to the main process that takes place in the university, that is obviously the training of professionals in undergraduate and postgraduate studies. We have another example, two systems deployed in the recent versions last year, mainly in the university library developed by the University of Information Sciences, and the management system that supports all the teaching area in our colleges. Is using our own social networks where the students develop educational processes for burning issues in works. I wanted to clarify that there are slides here that cover all universities in Cuba, from the furthest eastern and further western section of Cuba. So it is not just in two centers of the higher education system, but providing support across the board. Their development of ITs and relevant techniques has enabled us to produce different educational systems with different platforms. which is shared with the national network in different portals so that professors teaching the same subject in different universities in Cuba can reuse these resources through these services provided. There are repositories of applications. Some of them are developed in the university, not just for the University of Informatic Sciences. Other universities like the University of Villa Clara are leading entities in the use of and building of applications for cell phones in Cuba. We also have a lot of content providing support to the different processes that can be seen in the screen. Free software repository, general education and culture as well. Of course, distance education is very important for us. Here we have a screen showing the site of the National Distance Education Center and the portals of the first engineering degree provided in Cuba, which is the engineering in the agro-industrial processes at the University of Agrosciences in Mayabeque province in the west of Cuba. Our ministry is a result of sciences and produces sciences and solutions as well. We have over 70 online magazines ready not just for the university students and professors, but for the Cuban population, and we have an analysis and research project for all the different institutions in Cuba. That is a Tocororo project organized by the University of Pinar del Rio. We have repositories with all the relevant scientific publications, master's degrees, PhDs available in most of our universities, based on free software technologies. More IT and scientific services, university editorials. Almost all colleges and universities have their own publishing houses. One of the main tasks undertaken to make an advanced network is a supercomputing service. Main achievement is in the Villa Clara University, a node being held or developed in the University of Oriente, and it's the largest service currently in UCI, which we want to share with the rest of the Cuban institutions. This is the external portal. And lastly, a recently established service. It is the first repository of open courses in Cuba, where the math, history, and Spanish language courses can be accessed anywhere in Cuba. Portals and profiles of the universities. And lastly, the results in our teachers and workers and students' achievements in the different international fora. For 2 consecutive years, awards have been given at the forum organized by the ITU and the ACM ICPC, with different teams part of the final competitions every year. This is my presentation. Thank you very much.
Now, Deputy Minister of Ministry of Education, there's a question on what would be the software production with foreign investment or foreign partners. Well, good morning. In the Ministry of Education, for many years now, we have been moving towards the informatization of the Cuban society by providing audiovisual and IT resources and by training teachers and professors that will in turn teach computer science at schools and universities, and the development of different softwares and programs. We are working in 2 macro projects related to the work in the Ministry of Education, a system for comprehensive management of teaching, and a public platform for e-learning and online interaction. We work with different educational institutions. We work on the connectivity, on updating IT programs at different educational levels to improve our national education system. We have developed our own sustainable design of contents related with the different curriculum, and ongoing learning and improvement of teachers and professors. The www.coeduca.cu is a virtual space for all educational contents at the different educational levels. This is used not only by professors, but also by members of the community and the population as a whole. The objective is to inform the population about a quality education system with a pedagogical and technological innovative system focused on 3 publics. We have contents for the students at the different educational levels with exercises and other materials. We have a section for teachers and professors so that they can prepare themselves, and a section for the family with different tools that can help family to help out their children. The mission of and content of Coeduca has a national system to support the Cuba image inside and outside the country, to support the educational programs with news, with information about different events, interviews to different personalities. All this you can find at Coeduca portal. As part of the comprehensive system, we manage the Hola Hola social network, a space for exchanges between students, professors, and the Cuban society at large. We work with UCI in the Academus platform for educational platform, a platform for libraries, and a digital library for teachers and professors that is constantly updated with different types of materials.
Lo más actual y novedoso,
the most innovative app is an online
preparar a los docentes y a los estudiantes, sobre todo en la comunidad educativa, para el trabajo en las diferentes materias del currículo escolar en todos los niveles educativos.
Online substitute professors for students so that they can study out of class. We are also part of the Blocks Network system, and we also deal with web TV for cultural and educational documentaries. The Cuba Educa portal was selected as the most representative process for IT development in Cuba in Informatica 2018 that was held 2 months ago. Now we have Mr. Ariel from the Ministry of Health. There are many questions that have to do with frequency bands, safety, security of the networks, etc. I think Mayra will be able to answer these questions later on. Morning. I want to thank the invitation for participating in this workshop. We're going to talk about ICT development in the Cuban health system. We will start by characterizing our system. It's unique, it's free, it's accessible, and it's comprehensive. It is accessible to all citizens, irrespective of their race, religion, political beliefs, etc. And we have international missions. Talking about ICT's development in our national health system, we must say that we have a plan, a national plan, in line with the comprehensive policy for ICT development in the country. There are three main aspects: long, medium, and short-term planning of ICT development, to harmonize the development of infrastructure with the training of human resources and the design of apps, and to put in place national solutions that are sustainable. As you can see here, this is related to this tells you the number of health units that have been connected with broadband. This helps to an harmonious and quick or expeditious development. Here we have the exponential development of emails in our health system, more than 60,000 from 2002 to 2017. This allows access of our workers to Cuban networks. There is a group of platforms that have been designed, particularly C-Salud, which is a platform with different apps and centralized solutions developed by Softel, the company Softel, and other agencies of the Ministry of Education. There are different solutions like the Register of Health Professionals, Register of Cancer Patients, the death record, the blood donation register or records. This will provide timely information to the decision makers. Our state-of-the-art company that works with us for solutions that are in place in 70 hospitals in the country, and we continue working for putting in place these solutions in all hospitals in the countries, as well as polyclinics and odontological clinics. In 2015, we were granted the award. On telecommunications, we have also been working with medical images. We have 2 Cuban solutions that were developed by the Oriente University for transmitting medical images, and another one developed by the Computer Science University for the transmission also of medical images. We have been making progress in developing a portal with information regarding our system. This portal is called Infomed. Here we have magazines, information repositories, medical databases, and web pages, more than 670 web pages in the Infomed website. This enables exchange between or among medical professionals or health professionals. Last year, we were also awarded this international award. This talks about the international recognition of IT solutions for health in Cuba. We also have a portal for Cuban medical cooperation. Today, we provide cooperation in 66 countries, and this is a portal where doctors, nurses, health personnel carrying missions in other countries can communicate with their relatives and families. It has thousands of visits, millions of visits, sorry. This is my presentation.
Y es el turno del Ministerio de Cultura, de Roberto. Creo que sería bueno que se fueran preparando los otros panelistas para terminar todas las exposiciones y dejar...
Buenos días. Quisiera aprovechar la oportunidad para darle una vez más la bienvenida a los visitantes extranjeros que están en este hermoso balneario y agradecerle al Ministerio de Comunicaciones la oportunidad para presentarles a ustedes lo que está realizando el Ministerio de Cultura en el ámbito de la habilitación de contenidos en la red. El Ministerio de Cultura tiene un portal que está convirtiéndose en una plataforma para la gestión de contenido. Este portal está compuesto esencialmente como plataforma por 4 elementos. Un periódico que mantiene contenidos dedicados a la cultura, visibles, noticias. Tiene además una blogosfera y tiene 2 grandes componentes. El repositorio multimedia que soporta todos los recursos, más de 40.000 recursos están disponibles en este momento de cara a contenidos en la red.
Face of the content in the grid, and sort of a newsletter that provides all the information from the different sections, provinces of the country, with all the information that comes from it. This platform is conceived from over 300 sites, covering the whole length of the island of Cuba, including the network of the Defense of Humanity, the site of the National Library José Martí, and others. For example, the Cuban Cinema Institute Animation Studios, which has different games and the applications.
Y videos de animación que son es posible descargarlos para que lo puedan utilizar en sus casas, en sus centros de trabajo, los distintos usuarios. Está el sitio de artes visuales, el portal del cine.
So we have the one of cinema, Cuba Literaria, with literature resources, the Cuban Foundation for Cultural Assets. There are over 300 sites. I want to highlight the University of the Arts, which just as the whole Cuban arts-related system has its forum in the web and the different events that are conducted. From the content point of view, here we have the last version of it, of the cultural poster, and we call it the ticket, which is basically what you use in Cuba to get into a cinema or theater, allowing to choose in the different categories: music, cinema, literature, by province, by date, by place, and find the programming culture-wise available at the time. Here we have something that we did on Friday, finding or searching by province, Matanzas, where we are right now, and there you have that the Cuban duo, Buena Fe, is going to be in the Casa de la Música here in Baradero, and so on, so on, so on, so on. You can find more information, to share this information, to find where a given place is located as far as where the event is concerned. On the other hand, we have the multimedia repository, which is organized by typology and format kept in the web. In this case, we show applications for mobile phones available to be downloaded, and also videos, movies, trailers of music, whatever, available also to be downloaded. In these two cases, everything, all of these sites provide content to the platform in concept. When Cubarte newspaper publishes a news, the journalist uploads the image, and that image is sent to the repository. So anyone that might need to use it can actually take it from there. On the other hand, in our institutions we have Artex that is conducting e-trade for quite a while, e-commerce, through international platforms using 6 different platforms. Now we are joining the Cuban experience to separate runway for payments. We have the National Theater, which is already starting the booking of tickets through the web, and will do this shortly through the ticket application. And another mentioned by Texa, that is the rhythm, allowing to download up to 80 songs, 80 Cuban songs, with a very low price to download this music. This is what we wanted to share with you. All this is supported on the Culture Web Network, Cubarte, which has over 40,000 users. Thank you. I propose now, if we could finish with the presentations, there is not going to be much time for Q&A, and then we could have a debate to continue to optimize the time. We are going to get the panels that are still missing. We have Arnel Medina from the Cuban General Attorney's Office as part of the Public Administration Agency. Then we go to Pavel Pavon, IT Director of Tourism with a tourism experience. Then we have the experience of agriculture with Jose Antonio Milanes. Then the President of the Business Group of the IT Group, and Marister for the Civil Society, the Association of Cuban IT Engineers. Good morning, everyone. We intend in this short time, short period of time allocated to us, to show how the Cuban General Attorney's Office has used ICTs for to provide better care to the citizens. As a lawyer, I will start with a constitutional principle, that is Article 63, establishing that every citizen has a right to send requests or complaints and receive the relevant attention in the relevant time according to the law. And the General Attorney's Office has the responsibility of working in the protection of the rights of citizens. We, in the year 2014, started the informatization process, for which we established the main actions to be undertaken with the relevant planning for the budgets and the alliances that needed to be made with the different institutions, including the Ministry of Communications, ETEXA, COPEXTEL, the University of Information Sciences, that is the main developer of the softwares, Joven Club, the Faculty of Communications, the Higher Institute of Industrial Design, Higher Education Ministry, and others. We have been building this alliance, which has enabled us to make progress in this informatization process. And as part of the actions, we had the connection with all the different sections of us across Cuba through fiber optics, the portal, interactive portal web, with the section The Citizen, which we will talk about later, the single line for the care of the population. All this has been possible through a data processing center opened on November 12, 2016, and this has allowed us to provide services to the prosecutors and the workers of the General Attorney's Office and the main cadre and specialists of our body through mobile phones and internet service, and with the active participation in social media. We also have the main applications and softwares that we have developed. All this is always considered to be the way to establish the conditions to provide the technical support for two areas of work, which we consider to be important. That is communication, institutional communication, and the attention to the citizen. Institutional communication both for the internal and external audience, and the attention to the citizen, I will say, it's not a new role. We have always had this, but always this new allows to provide requests, claims, which was always done before by persons physically attending or postal mail, but it was not until 2015 that alternative ways were implemented. The hotline, the web portal, email, which has provided results that we can show in the next slide. So you can see in the year 2012, 2013, and 14, the persons attended ranked 78,000, 80,000 persons per year. Since the year 2015 onwards, with the inclusion of the hotline, any citizen 24/7 will have the response of a prosecutor, working days and not working days. In the year 2015, there was an increase of persons taken care of. We got to a figure of 113,000. Now, in the year 2016, with the web portal, where the individual can present complaints and so, the number of persons increased. And last year, we got about 138,000 persons. And
sobre los 1.122 personas de incremento.
There is an increase in excess of 1,000 persons as compared to previous years. So 14% of the persons that now interact or want to know any knowledge of the attorney's office, or the ones that want to receive some sort of attention, 14% use these alternative ways: hotline, email, and the web portal. This slide shows the persons, sectors, the segments of the population attending this: senior citizens, relatives of persons who are detained or in prison, Cuban and foreigners residing whether in Cuba or abroad. Here we also subscribe in a very professional way, according to the protection of women, with the Federation of Cuban Women, an agreement of cooperation to use these means to protect women who are victims of violence or any other act. And we finished our intervention saying that today the General Attorney's Office has a series of indicators, pre-established indicators by the resolution of the General Prosecutor, the General Attorney, providing access to the population of the proceedings where they are involved or where they are party to. So this is a process to establish the relevant technology of the fiscal management system with a web portal, so that the person that presented a complaint or a claim for a given event, that person will get an ID and will enter the web portal and know what is the current status of that claim. Jose Martí said, justice, equality, and equal treatment and respectful treatment to men, and the respect of law is revolution. And I request this your attention to watch this spot as part of the advertisement and the communications campaign.
Muchas gracias, Nel.
Thank you.
Vamos a ver la experiencia del turismo.
Let's now see the experience of by tourism. Welcome all, good morning. Tourism for Cuba is one of the main economical activities, and it's also one of the industries that have been impacted the most by IT. That's why in our informatization process, one of the main projects was the digital transformation of Cuba as a tourist destination, because the technology development, mainly internet, the cloud computing, big data, social networks, mobility, all of this have close impacted tourism. Internet, with more than 4 billion of users, have become an ideal spot to marketing. Marketing with a surname, digital marketing. This is how we call it, a new digital traveler. This new digital traveler the main objective of this digital transformation is to accompany the digital travel in every journey. The first phase, the inspiration phase, we are using the social networks And we have a way of using it like a pyramid. At the point of is the social media management, establishing the policies. Next, in the different destinations, we have the community managers, and then at the installation levels, that's the communication policy, and it's made in a pyramid form. That's why we have good results. One of the main networks we are present is Facebook. The strategy has been to have an institutional page formed by Cuba destination and also our pages in different territories and countries where we have venues. It's made possible to have a global page, and we have around more than 1 million followers. This is made possible to have more visitors, and another information would be the YouTube channels or the Cuba TV, where the videos are promoted. And the planning stage and reservation booking stage, we have developed the official Cuba destination webpage. You can have access through www.cuba.travel. This portal has the characteristics that you can have access to it and have the information on your destination. And soon we will have the online reservations available, meaning the user on the internet, online, can have the information on her destination and services, and can make the reservation. To close the cycle, we have a foreign payment method, and they can close the entire cycle. For Cubans, we're making a payment method and transfer mobile method. This portal also has mobile apps for iOS and Android, as you can see on the slide. Furthermore, we have developed different portals within our strategy. Each hotel will have its own portal, and you can book the hotel from that site. These are some of the hotel portals in which you can make the reservation. Our experience, this experience stage, we are working together with a Texa group to secure the necessary infrastructure for accessibility, meaning they can have access constantly to the internet service. Currently, we have more than 72% of hotels with some kind of internet connection. Our goal, to reach 91% of hotels with internet access. Today, we have 72%, and 50% of them have internet even in their rooms. Today, this year's goal is to have 35% of internet in their rooms. What is our objective? Both Wi-Fi coverage and 3G and 4G use. Texas is almost finishing the 4G installation. We're having contracts with international agreements with international operators. We are agreeing with rooming services for tourists to come and have rooming in their rooms. Wi-Fi Bus is another project we are working on. Soon we will have internet in all these places. Another important thing that's tourist search, is map apps. Today we launched the first apps, where special tourist points are located. Not only hospitals, but polyclinics, museums. This was done together with Cuba. We also have an application with this for Android. We will have it in iOS soon. What are the characteristics of this application? When you locate a characteristic of a certain place you want to know, you will have the entire information of that place, and it will give you the exact place where it is located. Another project we are working on is the two first digital destinations, that is Cayo Coco and Cayo Santa Maria. Last, on the shared part, we are working, as there's too much information online. We are working with TripAdvisor, and we are working with the Review Pro application to guarantee to have the entire information. Therefore, the innovation and technology in tourism are pillars, are key aspects for the development of our activity. Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's give the floor to Jose Antonio Milanes, who works with in a company that uses the ICTs. We will give the questions received to the panel, members of the panel, to be answered later. We won't have too much time, but now we'll try to stick to the time we have for the presentation. Thank you. Welcome all. First, thank you, the Ministry of Communication, for inviting me to this event, so important event, and to get to know some key aspects our agriculture is working on. As the structure we have in agriculture, we have more than 700 cooperatives, around 300 enterprises. And we are also working on the informatization of the society within the agriculture. And we have for that an ICT company, a mission to achieve the informatization of the sector. Advantage is that we are all over the country. In every province, we have a representation. And we work hardly to develop 19 projects, information projects. They are part of a macro project endorsed by the Ministry of Communication to develop the ICTs in the sector. We will see a video now on some of the projects on the productive sector in Pinal del Rio.
en la conformación de los campos. Según estimados, el levantamiento topográfico y diseño de unas 100 hectáreas con láser podía tomar entre 30 y 35 días. Hoy esa superficie se cubre con el GPS en solo 8 horas como promedio. La diferencia está en la recogida de los datos, que puede efectuarse desde un tractor ligero al que se le coloca el rover o receptor y una computadora. En tiempo real se recibe la información, de modo que al finalizar el recorrido del campo se ha obtenido una representación de todas las ondulaciones existentes. Luego se procede al diseño del proyecto a la pendiente de mejor ajuste, un plano inclinado en uno o dos sentidos que determina el flujo del riego y drenaje según las características exactas del terreno. A este diseño se le pueden realizar ajustes que disminuyan la cantidad de metros cúbicos a desplazar para evitar el deterioro de la capa vegetal. Posteriormente se envía al tractor equipado con una computadora y una refinadora el mapa de los cortes o rellenos a efectuar en el campo, según las especificaciones del proyecto ejecutado con el software del GPS. La utilización del GPS en todas sus capacidades podría extenderse a la planificación de cultivos, el muestreo de suelos o el empleo de plaguicidas, herbicidas y fertilizantes con mayor exactitud. Todo ello con una significativa reducción en los gastos, mayor rendimiento y actividades agrícolas de menor impacto medioambiental.
Es decir, esto es una muestra de la utilización
at national level in agriculture in order to take ICTs to a productive process. That same technology and the automation of all these processes have been used in the crop houses, in the milk, thermal refrigerated freezers, in the cigars, the small industry that process agricultural products at a lower scale. So all these processes are aimed to are used with the GPS. We are working closely with the universities of the country, with Marta Abreu University of Las Villas, and our objective is to introduce new proposals in the assisted technologies. Our data bank in agriculture has the optimal conditions to monitor all these services. And our private network that we work to give solutions and take decisions to follow up projects of our sector. One of them is the comprehensive management system, and we monitor the source. All these are engineering solutions that are monitored through our web page, that are managed from the geospatial form. A specialist will monitor all this investment from that. So the private network, and the ministry has around 700 entities in the sector, including cooperatives. They are part of our clients are in the industry, in the agricultural sector, and we have used this experience in many other provinces. Isla de la Juventud is an example. In the Camagüey province, in Granma province, we have a program approved of information technologies. The government is also involved. As samples, that is the picture we have here. We have a farmer here with great results in agriculture using science and technology, and it was decided to give him 4 computers with a portal and a network. They have a VSAC connection, satellite connection with the Texas, and he can share with the world all his results. All the socialization of knowledge and informatics, it's key for agriculture. Agriculture cannot be developed today without ICTs. Thank you very much.
Muchas gracias. Grisel nos va a decir algo muy breve y ya María Esther calienta y entonces hacemos una reflexión final.
Good morning. Thank you very much for your presentation and the invitation extended. I speak on behalf of the business group of Computer Science and Information Sciences. We have been given, based on the policies of the computer science application to society, to be the coordinator of all the stakeholders from different sectors of our economy to contribute to the computer application of our society. In that sense, the business group aims at fostering the use of ICTs to ensure sustainability of our economy and the life quality of citizens, as well as the sovereignty of countries. We have three main goals. First is to accelerate the National Computer Science Application Program. Secondly, to ensure the use of more modern technologies, as well as the sustainability of the computer application process, and achieving a better integration, which allows to optimizing the processes at different levels. We have 5 basic principles. First, use tools and free software platforms. Use state-of-the-art technologies and international standards throughout the application process. To establish a single platform where all resources are shared and fostering the work and collaboration with universities. So our services are supported by research that are promoted from our universities. We intend to develop a digital ecosystem that shows, as you can see, it has a cloud where resources are shared with a harmonic coordination. These are some of the projects that have been mentioned here, and I could refer to some others of the ones that have been developed in our country. These projects should contribute to this digital ecosystem based on our priorities. I'm just going to mention 3 projects because of the technological and social impact of them. First of all, the Government and Citizen Portal. This solution has been developed by our company together with the local governments. Local governments play an important role in this computer application process. This is a solution that allows to local governments to conduct their management and to guarantee an interaction between local governments and their citizens. Another project is the fines management and charging. This is part of the national cloud. And this goes into the direction on the model we want to implement it in the overall sense. An end-to-mobile platform, which is largely known by our people. It's an asynchronic platform which allows interaction between content providers and the population. It also takes into account the limitations and features of our telecom infrastructure. We have some other projects and some other examples, but for the sake of time, I just would like to conclude my presentation. Thank you very much. And the last intervention from the Union of Telecommunications of Cuba. We are in charge of closing this panel. Good morning. We are the Union of Computer Scientists of Cuba. We thank the Ministry of Telecom and TEXA and organizers of this event for this invitation. We especially thank you for this invitation to this panel. The Cuban Computer Scientists Union is a young organization. It was created 2 years ago. It gathers the professionals of ICTs, communications, automated engineers, electronic engineers, and all of the specialists that are related to the computer application of our country. We have 262 grassroots units, and these are sort of communities of computer scientists and professionals that voluntarily want to get involved with these topics and want to make contributions to our organization in an efficient manner, and that can work harmonically with all organizations. We have developed a system of activities that aims at facilitating spaces for professionals to exchange knowledge, to grow professionally and discuss problems or issues that they face in their working places or their communities. We have conducted educational programs in Camagüey. We have conducted panels on cybersecurity, on sovereignty, health-related issues, agriculture. So as we can see, we have developed activities and academic events throughout the country, which allows all of us to exchange and provide solutions, provide visibility to these solutions at the national level. And to conclude these activity systems with a national academic event called cybersecurity. With the participation of professionals all over the world, cyber society, which allows to showcase what we are doing in Cuba as to computer application. We also have a program that connects us with institutions, with universities, scientific centers. This allows us to generate project ideas, foster creativity, innovation, mainly at the local and territorial level. Last week, we just held a national academic event on digital governance. This is to raise awareness on the work with citizens, and professionals can help citizens to use modern technologies, and that could be useful for their lives and families. We have a activity system with children, and this could be coordinated with the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Higher Education. Finally, we have the working collaborative spaces. These spaces are the venues of the Computer Sciences Union for integrating all the state professionals and non-state professionals, programmers, the academia, and territories to find collaboration, innovation, and creativity projects. This is my presentation on the work done by the Cuban Computer Scientists Union in these last 2 years. Thank you. So I propose you to have a debate on the web. Yesterday, We reflected on the ITU forum on the investment models, the infrastructure creation, and at the end of the day yesterday, we discussed how the creation of infrastructure doesn't solve the problem itself. It needs other efforts for the creation of services and content. And the computer policy creates synergies for this purpose. It's not only created bandwidth access to people and infrastructure, but to have computer application policies in our countries. We thought that although there were many experiences from different agencies and sectors of our country, it was a very short time to convey all of these ideas, and we thank all ministries and Cuban institutions which made a great effort to come here today before the inauguration of this Telecom Latin American Conference that is held in Cuba. And that's why we want to thank the speakers, the panelists, and all of you for this possibility of conveying these experiences in Cuba. And since it is 15 past 11, let's take a break until 11:30, and we'll be back here at 11:30 for the inauguration of this conference. A round of applause to the panelists, and we'll see you back at 11:30.